Welcome to the RoseCode Temple Mystery School. My name is Elaine Marie Rose, and I'm a High Priestess of the Rose lineage. Know that if you're called here, it's within your soul to return to this place. I welcome you home, beloved Rose Keeper. You prepared for many lifetimes to return, and you held the Rose codes and carried them in the faith of a sacred and ancient covenant being fulfilled. Now you are reawakening to this ancient covenant. Let's begin with some lost history. You won't find this history in books because it's been purposely erased from the memory of humanity. The records exist only in the Akashic records, which are the divine etheric light recordings of history on our planet. The teachings that are held in this record are called the mysteries of the divine feminine. They contain the great Sophic wisdom of the cosmic mother. For many millennia, the mysteries of the mother goddess teachings have been veiled and hidden from those that would abuse and distort their immense power. There were times on the planet when the mother traditions were thriving and alive. There were mother goddess temples and mystery schools in many places around the world. The sacred temple priestess, as a holy woman, was an integral part of the fabric of the community, and she was honored and revered for her abilities to weave and balance the upper spiritual realms with the earthly natural domains. Nature and the mother represent the divine matrix of creation, and the priestess was a master of the elemental arts. Today we use the word shamanic to describe this elemental mastery. In our more recent history, a false patriarchy formed to conquer, enslave, and control life and nature, and wipe out the memory of the divine nature of life and the mother teachings and wisdom. The divine feminine temples and their priestess communities were destroyed, and women of sacred magic and divine power were burned and killed in order to crush and control the powerful energies of the divine feminine mysteries. And what about the men who are called to this lineage? There are certainly many men called to it. And in the past, they were often known as knights or priests or kings or magi. They were charged as guardians and protectors of these sacred energies. The sacred masculine rose keepers were equally hunted and persecuted, and the lineage required a strict secrecy to survive in the darkest times of this planet. The original lineage that held this mystical energy is called the Sisterhood of the White Rose, and its masculine counterpart, the Brotherhood of the White Dove, although it has had many, many other iterations and names over time and place. These priestesses and masculine guardians were keepers and carriers of the mysteries of the Rose line codes. What are the Rose codes? The mystery of the Rose codes has been carried and hidden throughout all of human history, as they contain the original divine blueprint for humanity's planetary evolution and destiny. The codes carry markers in the DNA and were originally seeded on this planet in a far distant past, beyond what humanity is told is our history today. They hold the divine blueprint of the Christed light body. The mysteries of this path are revealed as one learns how to activate this light body. We are embodied creators and have the power to command nature. The genetic Christic seeds came from many advanced star nations like Sirius, the Pleiades, Venus, and other contributing benevolent star races that had carried and developed the Christic DNA code in their own advanced civilizations. On Gaia here on Earth, the codes evolved into form within our present-day version of our human bodies in the latter parts of the ancient Pacific region civilization known as Mu, which means the motherland, and it's now often referred to as Lemuria. The codes were transferred into Atlantis and seeded again in Sumeria and in Egypt, which was once called Kemet, and they were seeded into ancient Incan, Mayan, and Aztec cultures. In Egypt, they lived in the halls of the temples of Isis and other Egyptian mother goddesses for many ages, and within other traditions that carried the wisdom seeds. 2,000 years ago, they were reborn with great power through the mission of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and nurtured within the Gnostic, Essene, and Kabbalistic wisdoms. As history unfolded, they were present and guarded by various other secret societies, including parts of the Templar lineage. The Cathars of France and the Picts of Scotland had the codes, and they were present in the courtly knight traditions of Arthurian Grail mysteries. You find the Great Mother alive or sometimes hidden in Buddhist, Sufi, mystical Christianity, Taoist, and yogic traditions in various forms and functions. And the Earthkeeper traditions and mastery carried forward the Mother's teachings into what we now might call shamanistic indigenous nations all over the planet. There are seeds and threads of this lineage in so many global wisdom teachings that we really can't point to one origin. They live everywhere, yet often they're hidden. And just as the Great Mother is everywhere and hidden to those who cannot see and understand her, so are the wisdom teachings. The Great Mother Sophia wove her web wide and planted different parts of her wisdom all over the planet. Today, there's a global resurgence of knights and priestesses of the Rose lineage being reborn to remember and reinstate the Rose codes on the planet for all who are open to receive and activate them. They belong to humanity, and they are our divine birthright. These feminine teachings are key to the dawning of the new golden era of peace on earth. The full return of the feminine divine energies are essentials for a balanced and restored planet Earth. As the divine feminine rises and is reborn, so too will the divine masculine be called back into a higher frequency of divine love and sacred union. I thank you for remembering ancient soul and returning to the call of the Rose. As you can see by looking around at all the intensity on the globe, we're currently in a series of epic earth changes and are experiencing the great time of darkness before the dawn. It's the time of the apocalypse. However, the word apocalypse is not what you've been led to believe by the fear-based narrative. It actually means, according to its Greek roots, a revelation or an unveiling. The true nature of our reality as a divine reality is coming to light. And this false matrix reality of fear and survival and control is coming to an end. Today, the Rose codes are known by the leadership of Mary Magdalene. Both the names Mary and Magdalene are spiritual titles. They refer to Rose keepers. Mary refers to the Ma ray, the mother ray, or Mater, the mother light that creates form. A Magdalene or a Magda is a priestess Maga of the Rose way. The Maga, the feminine, or the Magi, or Magi, the masculine, are the master spiritual alchemists or white magicians that work with the elemental kingdoms of nature to create and sustain harmony in form. This is also sometimes called the Rose Path, or the Magdalene or Mary way, or the Path of the Beloved, as it also relates deeply to the sacred union of feminine and masculine forces of creation and within each of us. It's very important for those women and men who feel a strong instinctual pull towards these teachings and symbols to recognize that you are a past mystery holder who's being awakened to take your place as a temple keeper of the Mother Flame. You can know you're being called when you're drawn to watching videos like this one about the Rose lineage, or maybe you've been attracted to roses or Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Isis, or many of the other female masters. Perhaps you feel drawn towards swans or onks, or Grail legends, or womb wisdom, sacred sexuality, the rosary, sacred dragons and serpents, whales and dolphins, sacred water sites and wells, doves, the Holy Spirit, the symbol of the Sun Cross, the Sacred Heart, sacred sound, Venus planetology, the elemental realms, and any of the shamanistic or earth-based practices that we see around the globe. There are many archetypal symbols of the deep Mother Code teachings. You may also feel a connection to or have already met a twin flame or deep soulmate and know that you're destined to come into a sacred union as part of your path. I ask you to trust your instinctual knowing if you are being called to this sacred work. As High Priestess of this lineage, I am one of many ancient Rose wisdom keepers, who's here now to serve as a guide to bring through the wisdom transmissions that reinitiate each soul into the RoseCode lineage. It's a process of remembering for each sacred woman who sets foot on the path. I send you deep vows, beloved sister of the Rose. Welcome home to your ancient mythical self. And remember, it is all within you to be unlocked. Many blessings.